Now let's solve this. Now, like I said, use the table to answer the question that follows. Now we have a table that was given. We have output and we have TR that stands for the total revenue. We have the column for the total cost. Now we have marginal revenue as dash. I remember I said, there was a time I said for all marginal, either marginal revenue, marginal cost, or marginal utility, the first value is always dash. I said it right?
Yes.
Okay. So we also have average revenue. They didn't give us all this, but they gave us at this level when output is 3. And marginal cost also, they didn't give us anything here. So they said when CR is total revenue, the total cost, the marginal revenue, and the marginal cost. And the first question they're asking us to do is copy and complete the table. Now completing the table, we are going to find the missing values here. We're supposed to have something here. We're going to find it. And also, it states the condition that is necessary for profit maximization. And this always comes out in the exam. Let me say it. Now, how do we find this? Now, they gave us a table whereby the total revenue and the total cost is complete. So it's remaining the marginal revenue when output is 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And also the average revenue when output is 1, 2, already have 3 here, 4, 5, and 6. And the marginal cost when output is 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. How do we solve this? Now, of course, I'm giving you the formula for all this. Now, I'll solve one, and you take one. You solve one now, then I'll solve another one, and you take another one as assignment. Okay? So I'll solve, now let's say the marginal revenue.
So you give assignment.
I know now. Now look up. They said, recall the formula for marginal revenue. We said the marginal revenue is equal to the change in total revenue. Abi?
Yes.
Divided by change in what? The quantity. And we said triangle means change. So it means this is our new total revenue minus the old total revenue divided by what? The new quantity minus what? The old quantity. Now remember when we treated the marginal cost, I said for marginal, when it comes to the new is the current one. While the old is what? The previous. Now look up. Now this is the formula. Now we want to solve, already we already know the first value is always dash. What is this? That means we want to solve when output is 2. So when output is 2, it will be like, now say when output equals 2. So what is our marginal revenue? It is equal to, now I want to get the new total revenue. Now whenever you're solving for a particular output, you take cognizance of the whole value in that whole and use the one that is significant to that formula. For instance, now we're solving when output is 2. Now we want to get the new total revenue and the old, the new quantity and the old in order to get this. So for that, now when output is 2, this is when output is 2. It means I'll take cognizance of every value at the rule of 2. So the new total revenue is the current one. Right? So we have 30 minus the old is the previous, which is what? 20. So I have 30 minus 20 divided by the new quantity is what? 2, which is the current quantity same thing as output, as 2 minus the old is what? 1. So I have 30 minus 20 is what? 10 over 2 minus 1. 10 over 1 is what?
10.
Okay, so 10 is our marginal revenue when the output is what? 2. Any question on that? Ask now. Huh? Okay, let's do another one. When output equals 3. When output is 3, that's another one. What is my marginal revenue? It is equal to change in total revenue divided by change in quantity. Please, for those writing WAEC, ensure you write the formula at all time. For JAM, please, you can just move further to solve. Don't waste your time writing the formula. So when output is 3, what is my new total revenue?
60.
It is 60, the current one. Abi? Because this total revenue column is 60. So I have 60 minus what's the old? 30. Thank you. I know because. The next one, what is the new quantity?
3
Minus
2.
God bless you. 60 minus 30.
30.
So 30 divided by 3 minus 2. 30 divided by 1 is what?
30.
Okay, so it said when output equals 4, right? So my marginal revenue, which is change in total revenue over change in quantity, is equal to, and what's my new total revenue there? 80 minus what's the old? 60 divided by what's the new?
4.
What's the old?
Minus 3.
80 minus 60
20.
divided by 1
20.
give us 20. So that is when output is what? 4. So you can solve the rest as assignment, right? Let's go for average revenue. Now look up, the average revenue, if you remember, I said is also known as the price of the commodity. Remember, and I also gave you the formula for average revenue. Please, the formulas are very important. So the formula for average revenue, which is AR, we said is total revenue over what? Quantity, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So now to get this now say, now when output equals 1, we're starting from the first one, when output is 1, so what will now be my total revenue? Now when output is 1, look at the total revenue, right?
Yes.
So we have 20 over, what is my quantity? 1, because we are treating 1, the same thing as the output. So 20 divided by 1 gives us what? 20. That's my average revenue. As simple as that. Did you get that? Okay. So the next one, we do when output equals 2. My average revenue is total revenue over quantity. So when output is 2, what is my total revenue? 30. You don't know how we got 30? Let me see your hand. You don't know how we got 30? Look at my average revenue. We are solving when output is 2. Mine is not here. When output is 2, look at the total revenue. I said whenever you're solving for a particular output, you take cognizance the row and the value which you are using for a formula. So we are going to use solving for average revenue. What we take cognizance of is the total revenue and the quantity. So we say when output is 2, what is my total revenue? When output is 2, what is total revenue? Did you get that? That's 30. Divided by, what's my quantity? 2. So 30 divided by 2 gives us what?
15.
15. So my average revenue is what? 15. Any question on that? Okay. Now the third one, okay, the third is already provided there, given in the question. So let me do the fourth one, so you do the rest. So say when output equals 4. So what is my average revenue? Total revenue over what? Quantity, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what is my total revenue when output is 4? 80 divided by what's my quantity? 4. So 80 divided by 4 is what? 20. Right? Any question on that? Any question? Okay. So you can do when it's 5 and when it's 6, right? So that is for average revenue. Now let me move to the marginal cost. And we have done the marginal cost when we're treating cost. Now please, In a question like this, it is easier for students to get confused because we have marginal cost, marginal revenue, total revenue, and total cost. Their formulas are related. If you know one, it is easier to get another. When we're talking about marginal revenue, it has to do with revenue. You are getting the change, the additional revenue that is what that you get in what selling an extra unit of output. So marginal cost is what additional cost incurred. Okay? So the marginal cost, remember our formula for marginal cost is what? Change in total cost. Have it? You have a change in what? Quantity. Now which gives us the new total cost minus what? Divided by
New quantity minus old quantity.
So now the second one, when output is what? 2. Abi?
Yeah.
Okay? When output is 2, now we said our marginal cost will now be equal to, what is my new total cost? Huh? You see, huh?
50.
See what I said just now? It is easier for students to get confused. Now, do you know why she called 30? We are not treating total revenue again. We are talking of total cost. So please don't get carried away with joy. So most times there's a way you want to solve something. You say, I know I'm going to say, you calm down. You say, no, I know I'm going to do 1 plus 1 11. That says joy. Once you calm down. Now, we are talking about the cost, not the revenue. So the change in total cost, the new total cost when output is 2 will be what? With what? 50. So we have 50 minus what's the old? 40. You don't know how we get 50. Let me see your hand. You don't know how we got 50. Get up hand. Me, I will get up my hand. Let me explain. Now look up. When output is 2, we said the marginal cost is the change in total cost. And to get change, we have to know the previous and the current. So the current is the new total cost. I said is the current one we are solving. The new total cost is the current. So when we are talking about when output is 2, and you come to the table when output is 2, and this is a column for total cost, and you check when output is 2, this is the new total cost, which is 50. While the old is the previous that came before the new. So what came before 50? 40. So 40 is my old. Did you get that now?
Yeah.
Okay. So what's my new quantity? 2. Because we are solving for when output is 2. Output is taken as quantity. Minus what's the old quantity? 1. Look at 2. The old is 1. So 50 minus 40 is what? 2 minus 1. 2 minus 1. 10 divided by 1. 10 divided by 1. 10. 10 times 1. 10. Times 2.
20.
Okay. That's the first one. The second one, when output equals 3. Have it?
Yeah.
Okay. So, what would that be my marginal cost?
50.
What's the new total cost?
60.
How do we get 60? Because what? Huh? The output is 3, Abi?
Yeah.
So the new total cost when the output is 3 is what?
50.
Okay. Minus what's the old?
50.
Okay. Thank you. When output is 3, what's the quantity?
3.
Minus 2. This is now fancy exam. 6 minus 50.
10.
10 divided by 3 minus 2 is what?
1.
10 divided by 1 is what?
10.
10 divided by 1 is okay. So that's how to solve. So you complete the rest for me, right? So that's the first one. B. Now they said, state the condition that is necessary for profit maximization. I said, when it comes to profit making, to make profit, not maximization. That was why when we treated some of the questions relating to cost, when a firm is making profit, not maximization. When a firm is making profit, it is when total revenue exceeds total cost. When I say profit equals total revenue minus total cost, when the revenue, that is the income, is more than the total cost, is when they are making profit. But when they are maximizing profit, what is profit maximization? I said the condition is when the marginal revenue is equal to the marginal cost. Check your notes, it's there now. Is it not there? I even asked you to put it as notes. That is important. I'm not joking when I say that question always comes out. So, a firm is maximizing profit maximization, when the marginal revenue equates the marginal cost. What it means is that, remember, we said the marginal cost, which is also known as incremental, is the extra cost incurred in producing what? Extra unit of output, right? And we also said why defining marginal revenue is the extra income that is gotten by selling extra units. So a firm is maximizing their profit when the extra cost they incurred equates with the extra revenue that was gotten when it was sold. So that's the condition when MR equates MC. Now most time, listen, they might give you in graph. Try those writing down. They might give in graphical representation, and you might see a situation whereby they will tell you this is MR and this is MC. Listen, and they're asking you what is this point. Now this point, when they meet, it meets this equilibrium, meaning that they are equal at this point. So at this point, when they are equal, that is when we term it as profit maximization. So it might not come like this, it might come in graphical representation. Do you understand me? So when it comes in graphical representation, please, your mind should know that MR equates MC. So at any point where they meet, it means they are equal at that point. It is just like in demand and supply. We can have a demand curve and supply curve that will call this point what? Equilibrium, right? At the point where the quantity demanded equates with the what? Quantity supplied, where they are the same. So in that same situation, because there is no how you are writing Y or JAM economics that you will not see graph. They will bring out some graph and ask you what is this in that graph. You must see it. So I'm saying, if the question doesn't come like this, they might draw a graph like this and ask you what is this point there. Once they give you this curve as marginal revenue and they give you another as marginal cost, and they might ask you this point where they meet is what? That's a profit maximization. In numerical terms or mathematical terms, this is what it means. The marginal revenue equates the marginal cost. This is when they are maximizing profit. Not when they are making profit. When the firm is making profit or when they make profit is when total revenue exceeds total cost. But when they are maximizing is when marginal revenue equates marginal cost. Please don't forget that.